Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Fox 11 online edition of the Fox 11 Training Camp Report. I'm Drew Smith, along with Jonnie Gray, Packers Hall of Famer. And Jonnie, we're talking a little bit about camp, early in camp here. What kind of things are you looking for the Packers to get accomplished as they get through this early part of camp?
Well, Drew, I think it's just obvious to the fans watching is that the defense has to get better. And then that means having Nick Perry, Worthy, the defense ready to go from day one. Tough opening game against the San Francisco 49ers. So it's going to be imperative that this defense is ready to rock and roll.
Well, now as we start to look at this roster and you go up and down this roster, there are some positions that are kind of up for grabs. When you, especially talking on the defensive side of the ball, you've got a corner position now that Charles Woodson is moving back into that safety area in base. Jarrett Bush has really shown some good promise early on. Sam Shields seems to have dropped off a little bit. Devon House. That's going to be a heated battle all the way through to the end of the camp, probably.
It really is. And Jarrett Bush has really come to camp in great shape, very physical. You saw it from day one out there hustling, being kind of a team leader out there, getting to every place at the right time. And then all of a sudden, Devon House is starting to show up a little bit. Now, I don't see anything wrong with Sam. It's just that he seems to be one step slower than everybody else, because whenever they make those big pass plays, he's right there, but he's just not doing one thing, something correct.
Yeah,
just to make a play.
I was talking with Sam actually just yesterday, just the other day, earlier this week, and asked him, I said, how evaluate yourself these first few days? He said, well, it's the first 3 days of camp. I mean, I'm not where I want to be, but nobody's where they want to be. I mean, we're just at the beginning of camp, so we're just kind of getting going. So he needs to, I think, step on the gas just a little bit.
He's going to have to pick it up. I think he might have been okay with Jared ahead of him. He said, well, okay, we'll probably battle it out, blah, blah, blah. But when you start getting Devon House starting to make some plays and start to pick up his game, and these guys work their tails off. Devon House came in with M.D. Jennings a couple years ago, and both those players have slowly started to pick up their game.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the offensive side of the football. I think the one big question mark is, are they okay at running back? I mean, are we looking at basically who we're going to see? And you never know with Ted Thompson. But James Starks and Alex Green, I think a lot depends on Alex Green as to whether or not he kind of progresses through.
Running back by committee. I haven't really seen anybody out there, Drew, that really has stood out. But I guess on the offensive side of the ball, if anything that's really stood out for me has been the quarterbacks and the wide receivers, because there's been some exceptional throws and some fantastic catches, by the receivers throughout. DJ Smith has been coming along and having
he's had a very good camp.
Yes.
So far. I mean, there's some other guys that have really.
I'm sorry, DJ Williams.
Okay, DJ Williams. As you look at the different guys that have also kind of stood out a little bit, Smith, I think, has stood out a little bit. The linebacker playing in the middle there with Desmond Bishop on the shelf. It's a chance for some of these guys to be able to jump in and maybe do a little something extra. I think Graham Harrell has actually looked pretty good. Nothing crazy, but he's really put on some weight, gained some arm strength, and I think backup quarterback, a lot of fans have that on their mind and think, well, he's such a young guy, can we trust him? That Matt Flynn's gone. Well, let me tell you what, if Aaron Rodgers goes down, forget about it anyway. It almost doesn't matter who you've got back there. Very few NFL teams nowadays can weather the storm of an injured starting quarterback. But I think Graham Harrell's got a great head on his shoulder. And one of the things that Ted Thompson said, he said, oh, by the way, he's got a secret. He had a fantastic college career, so don't count this guy out.
I wouldn't count him out, Drew, because in Coach McCarthy's system of the quarterback school, I mean, you come in there and you have to have a head on your shoulders and you have to have some ability to play the game. But you also have to have an understanding of what this National Football League is all about and what the Green Bay Packers are all about. And I really think that he's matured over the last couple of years. I thought that first year he was here, I think it's kind of like, well, okay, well, this is kind of cool to be in the National Football League. But I think he really learned a lot by being around Matt Flynn last year, knowing, hey, when I get an opportunity, I got to be able to perform like that and be courted hopefully a couple of years down the road.
Well, as the training camp continues, we finally get into real games. We've got family night, real games for these preseason games. We'll learn more and more and more. And to keep you updated, don't forget to join us every night at 10 o'clock on Fox 11 as we bring you the Fox 11 Training Camp Report. For Jonnie Gray, I'm Drew Smith. Thanks for watching.